Yo, what is up, guys? What is poppin'? We are back with week 3 of the ITL. It is versus Helmy and his Wisconsin Weezing. He's actually a division rival, and he started 1-1, I think. So not too bad, not too bad. And yeah, he's a division rival, which means we play him twice. So that like don't want to reveal all my sets, so I didn't upload a team builder. It's basically life of Mamo, AV Torn, Fat Venusaur, Fizdev, Aloma Mola, Fat Feeny, and Taunt Roost, and Dragon Pulse. Hydreigon, as you see, his Dragon Resist is non-existent. He had a Clefable on the squad, but didn't feel like he was bringing it for the squad with Mega Venusaur, with the potential Taunt stall breaking set, like from Hydreigon, for example. And yeah, just didn't see it coming. So I figured Dragon Pulse Roost, Taunt, Hydreigon really shuts down all his fat stuff like Mandibus and potentially even Blastoise and Pythagoras, and can just like do pretty solid damage with like modest Dragon Pulse, which basically two KOs or three KOs everything on his team. If you especially are AV Blastoise, obviously I need a it's probably gonna be more like a 4 KO, but it can't do too much backwards me and it would lack recovery obviously if it's an AV variant. Looking at his team, he brings the Victini, which I really expected. Think could be a pretty big nuisance versus my team depending on the set. I don't really have a guaranteed check to it. Really depends. Like a trick room set with like mixed attacks could be pretty pretty scary. But I figured his most likely set was going to be Band or Scarf. Reason being is Helmy doesn't gen his mons. He only uses like his own the mons he breeds, and I know that he only has a few has access to only a couple of Victinis. So I figured he was more likely to bring a more standard set because Victini is an event mon and you don't want to play through whatever it is to get the to get the Victini from some weird event or so. If you even can get it from an event, still I don't even know. So I figured this was more likely to be like a bandit or scarf set or whatever. Then he has the Mandiburst, which I expected because it pretty much shuts down Mega Venusaur. It's a solid check to Specs Hydreigon because it can just roost off any damage. It can switch into Tornadoes. It can even take a hit from Mammoth's Point if need be and do like 75% back with foul play. It can knock off items, so pretty solid versus me. The fact that he brought Blastoise kind of told me that he wasn't defog Mandibus, so more like the knockoff Roost, maybe Utah, maybe Terran, maybe Taunt, maybe Toxic, like some supportive set. Probably not a defogger. He has the Mega Lopunny, which is a threat, but I obviously have the Mega Venusaur, the Tapu Fini, the Alomomola, all of which can take a hit if need be. He has the Cofarius, which could be a defensive set or could be like a Trick Room Sweeper, which I definitely have to play carefully around. Probably have to go hard Finny or hard Hydreigon to potentially taunt it or whatever I have on Finny. I might have the haze on it, I don't know. Probably didn't even come into play in this battle. Yeah, Blastoise I figured was likely AV or especially defensive just because like Henry likes to has some tricks up his sleeve, and I figured he was likely to be a mirror coat set potentially on the Blastoise to get rid of my Mega Venusaur because Mega Venusaur obviously is such a solid check to any variant of Blastoise. So I figured he had to have something um, for my Venusaur on that thing to like lure it in and OHKO it. So Mirror Coat was actually making a lot of sense. And then he has the Roserade, which could be a Spiker, but I figured it was more likely to be an offensive variant because it's like his best form of wall breaking versus my squad. Like a Roserade with like Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, and Hit Power Psychic or something could actually beat my Fat Core, Venusaur, Alomomola, and Finny if he's a life variant or so, and then like I could be in trouble versus that thing. That's why I have AV Torn on there to potentially check it. Mm. I lead off with my Mamo here, as we will hop into the battle, because I felt like it was matching up very solid versus most of his team. I figured like if he leads Victini, I get some crucial information because in front of a Mammoth one, he is like, kind of forced to U-turn if he's Scarf, and he's forced to switch if he's not Scarf because he doesn't know if I am Scarf. And I can potentially get up rocks versus the Pythagoras or the Mandibus even if I scare that out. And like I figured Victini was was a solid lead on his part, especially if it's a Scarfer, and that would like give me the information that I need early on in the game, so that I could like just go for the pivot into Alumamola, um, bait the U-turn, hit him with the Rocky Helmet, and go from there. So I'm leading off with Mamo as Helmy, as you see, will I think lead off with his Victini coming to the battle in style here with the nice yellow and black outfit. I never like customized my character in Sun and Moon. Like I think I bought this shirt somehow when I played through the game, but character customization is kind of cool. But he is off with the Victini. He's kind of forced to U-turn if he scarf because he doesn't know if I like if I'm what's it called focus sash memo, which would make sense on a lead memo. So I'm kind of like thinking he's going for the U-turn. So I go hard into my Mallory here, into my Alumamola to take the U-turn and get some chip on the Victini. I feel like Victini could be a big threat, even if it's only a Scarf variant, which this damage reveals to be Adamant Scarf, which is kind of interesting because it doesn't outspeed the timid Scarf High Dragon, which is um, kind of ballsy on his part, but obviously Scarf High Dragon doesn't really make sense versus, versus my opponent. So Roserade comes in. I could go for the protect on this turn, but I think I just go hard into my Tornadoes because I don't want him to get up spikes for free. So I go into my Tornadoes, see what kind of damage that is, and he fires off a Sludge Bomb, and that does a shit ton to my Assault Vest Tornadoes. I EV'd these Tornadoes to take two specs, modest specs, Sludge Bombs, and this damage reveals to be timid specs, and that does like that does quite a lot. But I know I can take those hits, and I'm like very free to U-turn here, knowing that he won't stay in, because even if I U-turn, I can just go into my Mammoth Swine or so, not into a KO and go from there. So Blastos comes in, and this damage from the U-turn um, reveals to be like pretty big. So I calculated, and it definitely made it look like this Blastos was what's called specially defensive and not physically defensive. Max HP though, so I figured it was specially defensive. And going to my Venusaur, trying to scout for the what's called for the mirror code. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure he is gonna pack it. I will Mega Evolve. Yeah, I contemplated doubling out, but I figured if it's especially defense variant, he's more likely to go for the mirror code here than anything else. So go for the Sludge for me on this turn. As he reveals the Protect, so it's a Protector, probably the Rapid Spin, probably Scars, and then potentially Mirror Coat as we see. I go for the Sludge Bomb. Maybe he thought I was over predicting here or so, but I was always scouting for the Mirror Coat. I will go for another Sludge Bomb here. It will do some solid damage to this Blastoise as I hit him here for like nice 30%, and he reveals the Mirror Coat, so I successfully scouted for that, but obviously I gotta play my Venus so carefully around this Blastoise because it's still way out of range for from a Giga Drain. So I have to I have to synthesis up here and go from there as he sends out the Mandibus. Solid play on his part. Mm, I can't touch it at all. I have the Synthesis, Giga Drain, and Sludge Bomb on the set, so hard wall by Mandibus. I have a fourth move that I will reveal later that will actually come in very clutch. So I go into my Tapu Fini here, predicting him to U-turn or knockoff, or maybe even fire off a Toxic, predicting me to like switch out into Tornadoes or so. But he goes for a knockoff, knocks out my leftovers on Fini. Doesn't matter too much because I actually don't need Fini as much in this battle because like just more of a pivot and prevents him from toxicing me. I think I fire off a Nature's Madness here on this next turn. Yeah, which I do. As he sends out the Roserade, lets his Roserade get damage, which is pretty interesting. I think he played it very aggressively in this game, which will kind of hurt him, as you will see later, because like he needs his Roserade healthy to actually break through my core. I go back into my Tornadoes here as he fires off another Sludge Bomb. Not too big of a deal. I think he gets the poison here. Shout out to Misty Terrain, but Flying Mons obviously aren't affected by that, so he gets the poison off. Doesn't matter too much. I can still like revenge kill this Roserade and go from there. I can still take one Sludge Bomb plus the poison damage after I get my region back, and I go for another U-turn here. He goes back into his Mandibus. So like the switching out here that he has, like I obviously get the momentum with the U-turn and shit like that, but I need to pressure him with the rocks to like really punish him for switching around versus my threat. Like getting kind of annoying. I can finally get in my Mammoth Swine on this turn. I'm not sure if I go for rocks actually. This battle happened like 2 weeks ago. Tyler, aka Fanabase, was just busy and didn't record my match until yesterday. So I'm kind of forgot a lot about this battle, but obviously we will figure it out. So I get my Mammoth Swine in here. I think I go for the Stealth Rocks on this turn, predicting him not to stay in versus me. As he switches out, maybe I could just go for the Ice Cream Crash. That could make sense, but I'm not sure. I think I get up my rocks here because like just a solid middle ground play, even if he like knocks off or foul play, doesn't really matter too much because like Mammoth One is always revenged by Victini or Lopunny anyway, and I can just only use it to break his core, which I even can do with not a lot of health, and which I also can do without my life orb, so that's fine. He brings the Toxic Spikes co-figures with me, which is pretty interesting. As I switch out into my Hydreigon, I'm max or close to max HP, and I can take any hits from this thing. If it's a Trick Room variant, I can just like taunt it so it can't Nasty Plot up, and then like go from there with the Dragon Pulse. But yeah, he brings the Toxic Spikes, which is pretty interesting versus a team that has like 3 or 4 Levitating Monsters, Steel type, Mega Venusaur, and Misty Terrain. I don't think that like I'm very surprised he brought it. I don't think these spikes are any good versus me because like I have solid hazard removal in Finny and what's it called, and the Claydol. I have like a bunch of Levitating Monsters, and I obviously can absorb the T-Spikes with the Venusaur. So pretty interesting on his part, but I obviously gotta play carefully around his next switches because I obviously want to absorb the Toxic Spikes before maybe Finny or Alomomola get toxic, obviously. So I go into my Hydreigon here, and I will just fire off a Dragon Pulse on this next turn. I see he's gonna switch out, sensing the Mandibuzz, which will take rocks damage and will take the Dragon Pulse, which actually is not a 2-hit KO from this range, I think. I think it does like 35% or so it's after lefties. It won't 2-hit KO this Mandibuzz, which is kind of unfortunate, but I definitely can taunt him here, preventing him from defogging if he actually is a defog set, and prevent him from roosting up. Hydreigon, as you see, it puts in a lot of work already versus versus Fat Stuff. Sorry, I'm kind of hungover, so yeah, might sound a little bad today, but it's fine. Mandibuzz can't roost up. I go for another Dragon Pulse. As he stays in, I think to U-turn out. Probably his best play because nothing else wants to take damage and can get some chip off with the U-turn on my Hydreigon. That's some solid damage, like 25% or so, but nothing too crazy. And he goes back into his Blastoise. Blastoise has revealed Protect and Mirror Coat. I think he has to have the Rapid Spin and like obviously the Scald. So I figured this thing can't really touch me, and yeah, I can just hit it with the Dragon Pulse, get a low. Mirror Coat obviously I'm immune to that because I'm a Dark type, and Dragon Pulse does some solid damage. I see the Rapid Spins away the rocks. It's fine with me. Like it doesn't matter too much in the short run because I can always get the rocks back up with my Mammoth Swine as I threaten out a bunch of stuff, especially if Victini locks itself into the Bolt Strike, for example. I can always get my rocks up versus that thing. I could get up my rocks versus Blastoise as Scald is not an OHKO versus me, unless he's in Torrent, obviously. But I roost up versus the Blastoise here to Protect. Works out fine for me. Can just fire off another Dragon Pulse here. My opponent actually decides to switch up, which I find very interesting because he actually goes on into a Roserade. And this thing will just drop to Dragon Pulse. So as I said, he played his Roserade way too aggressively in my opinion. Without that thing, he can't break my core at all, especially like with the Choice Scarf Victini and Lopunny that are basically hard-walled by Venusaur plus Alomomola, so he can't really do too much with my core. So Lopunny comes in, I will go into my Venusaur. I would have gone into Alomomola, but I obviously didn't want the Toxic Spikes to hit that thing. So Venusaur is a very solid middle ground player, so I predict him to go for the high jump kick anyway, and I can just fire, just take that thing and then pivot out of there with my Venusaur. So this damage is pretty big for a resisted hit, but Venusaur chews obviously, so not too shabby. I go for the Giga Drain here on this turn because I want to get my health back. I contemplated going for Sludge Bomb, which actually would have done like 45% to this Victini, but every chip that I get is solid. Victini is in now. I know that this thing is choice locked, or I think it is, and I go back into my Mallory, my Alamomola, as my opponent actually makes a very smart play and goes for the Bolt Strike. Predicting that, I already showed off the Alamomola as my initial switch, and so it makes a solid prediction. As you see, it is close to being a 2 KO. This is definitely a roll, but a roll that I don't want to risk, knowing that he's probably locked in. So I will double out into my Mamoswine here, I think, as he goes back into his Mandibus. So knowing that he is like locked in, Mamoswine was a no drawback play, obviously. And Mandibus comes in. I want to prevent that thing from coming in and fire up and get up a roost or something. And I'm in a good spot now. I can either go for the Ice Crash or I can just get up my rocks. I think I go for the rocks here on this turn because I can um, pressure my opponent a lot. Yeah, I contemplate going for Earthquake to 2 KO potential switch in from the Blasters, but I didn't feel like making such aggressive plays when I'm in the driver's seat anyway. So Lopunny comes in, solid switch on my opponent's part. Still has to he still has to deep rapid spin the rocks away, and I can like if I play my cards correctly, make the aggressive doubles that I need to. I can like play around the rapid spin and maybe force him to not rapid spin actually. Lopunny hits me with the high jump kick. Does actually a fuck ton. I go for the protect to see if he wants to high jump kick again, but he doesn't. Um, Mallory here is getting low, but obviously with regen I can always get my um, my health back. I don't really like non-lefties a la Momola, but in this case, whereas Lopunny and Victini Rocky Helmet is like such a clutch item. I go for the going to Finny here, knowing that I can take 2 returns from the range I was at with the with leftovers, but anyway, and I can like just fire off Nature's Madness or switch out. The Blasters comes back in. I think I switch out again, but I'm make a smart play, double out back into my Mamoswine, knowing that he is like can't beat my Finny and I can pressure my opponent's team now with the Earthquake. Especially with rocks, our Mandibus can't switch in. He basically has to sack him on here, as my Mamoswine will fire off an Earthquake. And Cofragus comes in, and Mamoswine has like a 92% chance to do a KO physically defensive Cofragus after rocks. And as you see, he is physically defensive, but it's not enough. He will get to a KO, and he has to sack him on here. Mamoswine getting another kill. It's definitely been my MVP so far. I think it's picked up like 9 kills or 8 kills over 3 weeks, which is kind of wild. So yeah, Cofarius goes down, which is cool. Mamoswine putting in the work, but obviously that invites him Lopunny again. Doesn't matter too much because I still have my checks at a solid amount of health. So like I'm not too scared of that. My opponent has 4 months left, and I'm definitely in a good spot, especially if I keep up the rocks. I go back into my Venusaur as my opponent. I think he fires off a return. Very solid play on his part. And return actually is not a 2 KO from the range I was at. So I can just go for the synthesis on this turn. As he fires off another return, trying to crit me potentially. But he doesn't do that. I get the synthesis off. And yeah, I'm back at a very solid amount of health, as you will see soon. So I think I go for another synthesis here, knowing that I can't take on anything that wants to switch in. As he goes into the Blastoise, which is pretty interesting. Obviously, I don't want this thing to spin. I know that I outspeed this probably because I actually have some speed investment on the Venusaur. I send this up, and this turn, I think this is the turn where I reveal my last move. It's pretty crucial, to be honest. As you see, Blastoise is actually in range of a Giga Drain now, but it actually won't be in range after one more Protect. And he has shown the Protect so often that I think he will Protect, and so I will fire off a Roar here, which actually will come in very handy should he go for Protect, because then he can't switch in on Rocks and take a Giga Drain from Mega Venusaur even after one more Protect, and it basically pressures Victini and Mandibus switching in. So Roar definitely the play here. Yes, it might allow him to Rapid Spin if he goes for the last ditch effort Rapid Spin here, but I feel like Protect was such an obvious play that I was very confident that I could allow myself to go for the Raw here and then still like be still pressure him a lot here. even if he like rapid spins the rocks away, I can like just at this point like basically I win the game anyway because everything is so weakened and his offensive core of Lopunny and Victini can't break Venusaur plus Alomomola, so that's like not too shabby. But um, with this roar here, I basically prevent him from rapid spinning ever unless I let him go for the rapid spin on an Alomomola switching. So he goes for the fake out with Lopunny as I actually pick up the KO with the Sludge Bomb on the next turn. Sludge Bomb was a no drawback play, obviously, as it could have like could have hit the Victini for some solid damage. And now Mandibus comes in. I have some speed on this Venusaur, and I'm very confident I will outspeed. Maybe it was a speed tie, I don't know. I actually have like 20 or 28 speed on this thing, and I knock out the Mandibus. So Venusaur chilling here, doing a fat amount of damage, and now it's locked in Victini and Lopunny versus the world basically. Victini obviously, as you see, gets um, gets the damage from the rocks. Can't really do too much with me. I'm very free to just go into my Alomomola knowing that he potentially has to go for the V create here. Then I can just fire off a wish or so as he will kill himself with the Rocky Helmet after this V create. So wish is basically a no drawback play on this next turn. So Victini will go down to rocks or the Rocky Helmet on the next turn. I can just go for the wish on this V create as Victini will go down to the Rocky Helmet, and then it's like only Lopunny left. And because this is a division match, and because playoffs will probably come down to one of the last few weeks unless I like go on a wild win streak here, I will actually play for differentially. I know that a 5-0 is almost just as good as a 6-0, but you never know in the ITL. I can catch some big losses potentially down the road and then be in a spot where I potentially need my differential. So I figured I might as well play for the differential. I will pass the wish to my Venusaur here on the next turn and then just fire up Giga Drains to um, kill this Lopunny. So this is gonna be GG. It is actually a nice 6-0 in week 3. We're starting off the season strong, even though we got kind of lucky in season 2 versus Maddie. But you know, like a 3-0 right now with a plus 14 differential or so. So very very good start to the season, obviously, and a very good start in my division because the team Maddie took over is now 0-3, I think, or 0-2 after 2 weeks, and either 1-2 or 0-3 after 3 weeks. And Helmy drops to 1-2, so I'm definitely in the driver's seat of my division, which is nice. I'm able to like get the 6-0 here, have a big differential, knock down my opponent to a very bad differential, obviously, which is very solid in the division. And yeah, we're starting off the season very strong with the 3-0, and we can go from there. So hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely go check out Helmy. I think I will leave his YouTube or Twitter link in the description if I don't forget. He's a very chill guy. He also has a YouTube channel. He goes by Shiny Heracross or Mega Aselga on Twitter, and I think on YouTube too. So like, just like look for that. Definitely cool guy. Almost swept me with the Sunny Day growth. What's called Vileplume last season, which was pretty wild. I will definitely always have a very fun matches. This time it was definitely in my favor, but I'm very sure he will bounce back. He's a very solid player, and he brings the heat to a lot of battles. So it's gonna be very fun to watch to see what he can cook up this season. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and comment if you did. This video will go up on Sunday, I think, and then until week 4 will probably go up. Will probably go up on Tuesday or so. I already played that too, and then we can go from there. I couldn't obviously upload that because I need to upload my week 3 before that. But yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and a comment, as I said. And yeah, catch you in the next video. See ya.